Hi everyone, the purpose of this video is to show you how to set up a title page and then the rest of your document using APA style to make sure that everything's in the correct format. Before we get started, one thing that's really helpful is to have this formatting key selected, and what this does is it shows the format symbols that are generally hidden. So this is the paragraph symbol. Every time I make a new paragraph, it shows up. The spaces show up as dots, and then tabs show up as arrows, or indents is another word for tabs. So this is really useful because APA format is very, very precise, so you want to make sure that all of your formatting is done precisely as well, and being able to visually see each space will help with that. Now the first thing we want to do is make sure that each page is going to be set up correctly. So what we want to do is make sure that we have everything everything should be double spaced, so 2 line spaces. The margins should be 1-inch margins all around. I know sometimes the default will be to have 1¼ inch on the left and right, but we want 1 inch all around. And then the font as well, it should be some standard font, generally Times New Roman, and size 12. So that'll be common across your entire paper. Now to set up the title page, first we're going to make the title, our name, and our institution. So we can hit return a few times. We want to center ourselves and then make a title. Below the title, write your name and then your affiliation. Now a good title should be no more than 10 or 12 words. It should be descriptive enough where it'll give the reader a broad sense of what the paper is going to be discussing. It shouldn't be super long, shouldn't be only 3 words, so you want somewhere in between. Now the next thing we're going to set up is the running head, and the running header is what's going to appear throughout the entire paper. So now to do that, you can double click up here. The other way to do that is if you go into Insert, and we can insert a header up here. But before we do that, we're going to insert the page number. So page number, top of the page, all the way to the right. Once we've done that, we can work with the running header. So running head, colon, space, and then this is going to be the first few words of your paper in all capital letters. And generally this shouldn't be more than 50 characters, but just the first few words is fine. Now you can hit the tab button and it should move your running head over here. If it doesn't go all the way to the left, what you can do is, if you see this little small triangle up here, you can move that, and that changes the indentation. We want this all the way to the left. And once you've done this, this is the first part. So right here, this is a complete title page. Now what we're going to do next is format the rest of the document. So hit return a couple more times at the bottom, and what you have to do next is use a section break. So you're going to go into page layout, hit breaks. Under section breaks, you're going to hit the next page. Now what this does is, you got the section break created. New section starts on a new page. Now to change the header for the rest of the paper, what we need to do is get rid of this running head part. And so we just want the title for the rest of the paper. But now if we do this, it's going to show up here too, which isn't good because we want it to say running head here. So I'll undo that, and the way that this will work is, you can see here when I'm in the header, if you go into this design tab over here, this button will automatically be selected, called Link to Previous. Click that button to unlink it from the previous section, and now you can get rid of the words running head, just have the title, and now you can see that the header on the first page and the second page are going to be different. So the title page, this is formatted correctly, and now this is formatted correctly too. So we got rid of the words running head. Now the next thing I'm going to show you is how to use section headers to organize your paper. And so this is an example of a paper that I've written before in APA format. So you can see that the setup, the title page, is basically exactly the same as what we just did. And now when you scroll to the second page, again, we got rid of the words running head, and so we just have the title and the page number. Now the first part of any paper is going to be the introduction. We don't need to see any heading for the introduction. You can just go right into it, start writing. But as the paper goes on, it helps to kind of see here there's no real divisions of sections, so if you're scanning through it, you're probably not sure what the reader's talking about here. And so one thing that helps is using these section headings, and it directs the reader's attention to the heading first of all, and then also informs the reader, hey, this is what the next few paragraphs are going to be talking about. So in the APA format, there's 5 different levels of heading. I'm just going to show you the first 3 because those are the most commonly used, the ones that you'll most likely use too. So this part right here is an example of a level 1 heading, and level 1 headings divide major sections. So the first part of this paper was introductory stuff, overview of the experiment. Now this second part is going to focus on methodology, and it's very clear from the title of the heading, right? Method of Experiment 1. So this is now a new major section. Everything that's coming after this is going to focus on the method. Participants here is an example of a level 2 heading. And you can see here that this is flush left. So think of this as indication of a subsection. Now, so level 1 headings divide major sections. Level 2 headings will divide major sections into subsections. Now, for both of these, for level 1 and level 2 headings, it's going to be normal sized font. You can see there's no extra spaces between the lines. It will be bold, and every important word will be capitalized. So you can see method and experiment are capitalized here. If it had other words after it, those words would also be capitalized too. So now you can see here, there's a level 2 heading, participants, and this section now, it's going to be focusing on who the participants in this experiment will be. Keep scrolling down, you can see here's another level 2 heading, conditions. So now you know that the next few paragraphs will get at what the conditions are in this experiment. And here you see now an example of a level 3 heading. For a level 3 heading, it's a little bit different. You're going to start a new line, hit tab once to indent it, write the heading, bold it, end it with a period, and then 1 space, and on the same line you can now start writing. And so now you know that this level 3 heading, because it's here that this paragraph, this section is going to focus on exergames. Scroll down, this next section is going to focus on exercise. Next one, stationary video games. And as you can see here, with level 3 headings, only the first word is going to be capitalized. The other words are not capitalized unless they're proper nouns. And so this level 3 heading, once this section comes to an end, we go back to a level 2 heading, measures, and so now there's more level 3 headings. So as you can see, it really organizes a paper very well, and it makes it very easy for the reader to know what you're going to be writing about. Now again, back to another level 2 heading here. This whole section has to do with the procedures. And now we go back to a level 1 heading, and so now this signals that you're going to be transitioning to a new major section. So this previous section focused on the methodology. This next one is going to focus on the implications and the conclusions of this first experiment. So that is it for APA formatting, how to make a title page, how to set up everything in the correct format, and then how to use section headings.